Today I want to talk about a topic concerning something that's very important to our daily lives. Detoxification. Our body is consistently hammered every single day by the environment. What's amazing is this onslaught, this assault that happens every single day, our body is built to withstand. But not just built to withstand, it's built to thrive if given the right resources and nutrients and supplementation and hormonal balance so our body can actually adapt and do well in these environments. What I want to do today is talk over some definitions of what these are and then walk through the process of our body of detoxification, how this actually works. It's very important to go over some of the topics. By definition, the word toxin is an element that is actually made by the environment that attacks our bodies, biologically made by nature. A toxicant is actually a chemical that's man-made that attacks our body. So what we're going to do is walk how does our body metabolize this and get rid of it so our body can actually thrive at the cellular level. This is important. Detoxification means to take these bad chemicals and bad reactions that are happening in our cells, get them out of our cells, into our circulatory system, and then eliminate them via the kidney, the skin, the lungs, and the GI tract. We have to do that without harming the body itself. So there are many classes of different chemicals that attack our body. In fact, the numbers are very interesting. There's over 80,000 new chemicals made since World War II. Over 700 a year that are not actually tested at all on their safety. So I want to go over some of the classes here of actual toxins. We have these called halogenated hydrocarbons. These are the PCBs, polycarbon plastics that actually affect our bodies. We have pesticides, which are actually, pesticides work by being neurotoxins. They cause sterility, inflammation, and malformation of our reproductive tracts. They actually lower our testosterone, our estrogen and progesterone levels from normal physiological ranges. We have things called endocrine disruptors that do the same thing, but they actually hammer our bodies, such as the hard plastics called phthalates. Again, PCBs. We have PBA, which is bisphosphonates A. We have other pesticides. We also have synthetic steroids in our meat supply. We have pesticides such as DDT. All these actually act by affecting the cellular structure, actually affecting how they work, as well as throwing off our balance of our hormones. We have toxic metals. We have mercury. We have lead. We have cadmium. We have arsenic. What happens is things like this. We have lead actually replacing calcium, actually causing bone problems. These are very important to understand because these heavy metals can actually affect DNA by damaging the DNA, messing up our immune system, and affecting blood pressure and kidneys. It's important to understand that, again, we're going through the classes now of these toxins in our bodies. Now, what these toxins do, they can actually have multiple clinical effects to our systems. We have cardiometabolic diseases, such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. These have been shown to be associated with pesticides, PCB, dioxins, and flame retardants. We have cancer, we have occupational carcinogens, we have fat-soluble pesticides, and again, PCBs. A good example, they've been shown that we have PCBs have been found 4 times higher in breast cancer tissue because it's a lipophilic or it's a fat-soluble structure. We've seen in prenatal and childhood diseases. There's a study called the NHANES that looked at pregnant women, looked at their placenta. They were showing that of the over 200 different chemicals found in every single placenta studied, from lead, BPA, mercury, phthalates, toluene, pentafluorochloride, there's another one called PBDA, all these heavy metals and plastics that are actually in every single one of the placentas. We have shown birth defects with BPA and phthalates. Again, it's very important that we look at these structures to see what they occur. Another one is neurological syndromes. Again, heavy metals, lead, cadmium, mercury. These, by definition, heavy metal means it's 5 times the density of water. These are found in pesticides as well. Now, these heavy metals have shown neurotoxic problems as pesticides as well, because understand, pesticides' main structure is to main function is to act as a neurotoxin to the pesticide the insect is supposed to kill. This increased risks of anxiety, learning defects, ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's have all been shown in multiple studies. The reasons are this occurring is because it actually has genetic manipulation. It actually hurts the detoxification system of the body, and therefore increasing the toxic burden to our body. We've seen immunodysfunction as well, where we have benzene, PBA, also decreasing what's called cell-mediated response. Our body has an immune system called the humoral response, which are the B cells or the antibodies, and the cell-mediated response called the T cells. Well, these have been shown to be actually hindered with these chemicals in our body, as well as shown increase in autoimmune diseases. So when we look at these kind of syndromes, we look at this kind of aspect. Again, I don't want to bombard us with all these chemicals, but knowing the sheer number that these toxins and toxicants are in the environment, how can our body, which was wonderfully made, to actually adapt in this procedure? So what I want to do is walk you through these actual phases of how our body can work and cleanse it up, and where it's really important with the nutritional supplementation we'll get at the end, and how it can actually make our body work better. I'm going to go over here to the board and write as neat as I possibly can. This helps out here. So there are 3 phases to detoxification. And what's important to understand these 3 phases, you have phase 1, we have phase 2, and we have phase 3. Now, where these phases occur is important. So we have our cell, our DNA, and the outside. Okay? This is called the extracellular space. Okay, now what's going to happen, most of these toxins are stored within fat cells. It's important, within the cellular area. That actually causes the mitochondria and the DNA to actually not work in properly, and therefore cause damage to our body. As he's talking about, the cardiovascular, the neurotoxin areas, that's what's occurring. Now, these toxins are stored in the fats. They're called fat soluble. But it's important is to get them out, they must become water soluble. So phase 1, the key to phase 1 is, let me get an eraser here, guys. The key to phase 1 is to biotransform the fat soluble to a water soluble. Okay? Then what happens is here, in this phase, the phase 1 is very important here, is this is done by a structure of chemicals in our body called cytochrome P450. These are 18 families of enzymes, 57 total, that actually help form that occur so that these toxic structures are changed to actually be more water soluble. The problem with this water soluble is that this new structure can actually be more toxic to the body. So phase 2 must keep up with this as fast as possible to now, what the word is called, conjugate. So what we have to do here is we have to conjugate this new structure to another structure to make it more water soluble, called conjugate. Okay, and this conjugation occurs. Now this is prepared to be elimination. I'm going to spend time on phase 2 right now, because phase 2 is very interesting. But before I do that, phase 1 is really important, because what's happening is when you're structuring this change, you're forming a thing called free radicals. Oxygen is being eliminated, and free radicals can now damage the body. My handwriting's got a little hair there. But these free radicals must become antioxidant as soon as possible. And that's what phase 2 is crucial on. So, when we do this here, I need a better eraser next time. We have a better eraser there, Susie? Give me a piece of tissue right there, so we'll take care of that. So we get phase 2 here. So now you have these structures that are conjugated. There's the toxin bound to another structure that makes it more water soluble. But this is really, really important. These enzymes are crucial to our bodies. Now, I'm just going to write some of the names of them. This one binds sulfur to it. This one here binds what's called UDP. This one binds glutamine or glutathione. You've heard of those before. And this one is called N-acetylcysteine. These are the moieties that are here that makes this enzyme work so that these structures now could be eliminated. Okay, that's important. So now once the structure is done, then we can eliminate it. But what's very important, this process, this biotransformation, this conjugation in our body takes a ton of energy called ATPs. ATP is the energy source of each cell that's made in what's called the mitochondria in the cell. So anything that can affect mitochondrial dysfunction could actually make this be inefficient. That's why our cells need the right nutrients and supplements to do this whole process. They can do. They just need to have the nutrients and the resources to do this properly. So ATP is a lot of energy source important. So now we have this whole process. Once this is converted to this structure, now the next part is phase 3. And phase 3 is elimination. So this structure now will go a couple ways. Primarily to the liver, and then excreted in the bile, the GI tract. The next way is the kidney, via urine, and also you have lungs and skin. Sweating is crucial. So that's important to understand how this works, to understand that process. Now I want to review this without me writing here. Let's go over here again. Okay, so we have phase 1 on the biotransformation of detoxification. We have the biotransformation of this soluble structure that is, again, it's in fat. But for it to be fat, it has to bind with something to be able to be eliminated, okay? So now you have the structure that's in the fat. You want to get that out of the system. That's the biotransformation. That's the cytochrome P450s that actually make that structure work. Boom. A lot of energy resource there is needed as well. Now it's bound to a structure. Sulfate, glutathione, glutamine, methylation. These aspects now make this possible to move out. So this is called conjugation. They're binding together. Now it goes into your circulatory system, your extracellular space, into the blood, and then from the blood it goes to the kidney, you urinate it out, it goes to the liver, where it goes to the bile system, and out to your GI tract, or you breathe it out, or sweat through your skin. That's very important to understand that. So what's important when you have these aspects together is what nutritional aspects are needed for this to occur. But I want to go through a couple of examples first. I have a wonderful example of how detailed and complicated this is. Our body, this thing called reactive oxygenated species, or ROS, that's part of these free radicals. Our body can recognize under stress when this is occurring. And there's actually goes into the DNA of our cell that actually stimulates the formation of more uptake of gene transcription of a structure called NRF2. This actually makes our DNA make more messenger RNA, which makes proteins to be prepared for the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Just the stress itself, your body recognizes that. Okay, that's so crucial, important in that. And the detail is, I want to show how the detail is that it goes together so together if all the substrates or resources are possible. Another one is heavy metals. Our body has been attacked with mercury, with lead, with aluminum, with cadmium, with arsenic. Our body already has a system called methylthionine that actually is an enzyme and a protein that actually gets rid of these heavy metals. But they've shown, though, zinc helps a lot to do this. There was a study done showing with the right supplement of food and resources by, get this number, by actually eating the right proper foods in the proper order, increased the actual excretion of lead and of mercury in our urine by 9-fold, by increasing the messenger RNA, the actual gene uptake of the DNA 37 times higher than zinc alone. That's how important these supplementations are. So what I want to do is now go over the nutritional supplements, because when you look at the nutrition, it sounds sort of crazy because it seems so simple, but we don't get them anymore in our sources. So here's what we got to do. Phase 1. Remember, phase 1 is where you're taking a fat-soluble toxin that's hurting the body, that's stored in the cells, you're going to change it into a type of structure that will actually be able to be eliminated, right? So that's the biotransformation side. What do you need? You need vitamin Bs, folate, glutathione. You need broccoli, cauliflower, they're called cruciferous vegetables. You need catamines, which are in green tea. You need cantaloupe has a beautiful supplement in there as well. You have vitamins A, C, and E. They form an enzyme called superoxidase dismutase. Now this sounds a little nerdy, but let me explain this to you. In phase 1, the cytochrome P450 works. This is how fast it works. It can actually metabolize 1 to 20 molecules every second. That's pretty fast. Gets it all ready. Phase 2 has to keep up with that because you don't want to build up these toxins. Phase 2 is manipulated by one of them is the is superoxidase dismutase, SOD. Here's how fast it does it. It does 1,000,000 molecules per second. Let that sink in. That's how our body's already made to get rid of these toxins. It's prepared if the right supplementation is there. Also in these minerals, magnesium, zinc, selenium, copper, manganese. Now phase 2 is once they're actually bound, now you got to be able to conjugate them. So that this is actually a formation of this. This is where those enzymes get involved. I talked about before, the SULT, the UDPGT, the GGT. These enzymes, the methylation now is crucial to have the right supplementation. So in this phase, you need amino acids. Specifically, amino acids are the building block of protein. You need to have glutamine, glycine, taurine, cysteine, arginine. You need to have B vitamins, folate, methylthionine, beta-carotene. Again, our vegetables, which are broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. Pomegranates actually has a thing called ellagic acid. All these things are crucially important, again, for the formation of the enzyme structures to do the conjugation process. The excretion, you want to increase your natural fiber, citrus, apple pectin in the GI tract. Those are studies that actually show it actually binds the toxins in the GI tract, as well as alkalizing your urine helps urination. So again, everything we talked about before, these our bodies already have. The process to do it, what they need is the nutrition supplements to allow it to occur. See, here at the Youth Institute, we personalize and individualize every single treatment. These toxins destroy the normal biological functions of our natural bioidentical hormones. See, all this is integrated. It synergistically works together. You need the right supplementation, the right resources in food, the right type of sleep and exercises, balanced with the optimal hormonal balance. The hormones behind this is the gasoline behind all of this. We talked about mitochondrial dysfunction. That happens when our testosterone level is low, when sugar is too high. That's what we want to do is we really believe in the idea that our goal is that we live, not exist. So therefore, we got to make sure that our body has the resources to be able to defend against this constant assault. We have to understand that the resources are not that difficult if we look for the right places. If we do this correctly, we'll get the best our body's supposed to be, and we can age and age gracefully. It's something that's exciting and to be part of, to watch people live their best. So contact us at the Youth Institute, brct.com. We'll do many more videos and many more topics. But what we want to do is, our job here, we believe, is educate, prepare, and then act. I thank you for your time. So, to conclude, our goal here is to have our hormones balanced physiologically normal, though they were supposed to be years ago. Optimal ranges. The right supplement to allow our body to utilize those properly to get the best out of it. And then this detox program we talk about is a simple 10-day course that we have that shows the details on how to do this. Remember, this is a detoxification, not of the gut per se. It's at this cellular level to get the cells happy, to get them to do their optimal best. If the cells are happy, the organ is happy, and the systems are happy, which again is you and me. So we have a wonderful 10-day program we can walk you through step by step, walk side by side with you to get our body detoxified. This is crucial so that the hormones we place now have an environment to work optimal. The synergistic aspects allows you to be the best you can be. Thank you.